Hi, welcome to week 4. We'll cover less material this week than usual. We'll step out of the textbook sequence and begin a more in-depth study of network security. We will cover the first half of Chapter 8,
which is about 44 pages of reading.
As an aid to visualizing network security principles, we will use 3 well-known fixtures in the security community. Alice and Bob, who want to communicate securely, and Trudy, who wants to intercept and or tamper with their communications. Now, Alice, Bob, and Trudy don't have to be people. They could be machines, such as computers and other devices. We will study 4 desirable principles of secure communications. Confidentiality. How do we ensure that Alice and Bob are the only ones that understand the contents of their messages and no one can eavesdrop on them? Message integrity. How do we ensure that the messages between Alice and Bob are not altered? Another aspect of this integrity principle is non-repudiation. If Bob has claimed that he has not sent a message, how can Alice confirm this? Endpoint authentication is the third principle. Are Alice and Bob really who they say they are? What are their identities? And how do they prove that? The fourth principle is operational security. How do we protect the data in all layers of the TCP/IP stack? And how do we protect the network itself from attack? During this week, we'll cover sections 8.1 to 8.6. We will first look at cryptography and how that provides the basis for confidentiality, message integrity, and authentication. Next, we will see how encryption provides the message integrity and implements digital signatures. This will be followed by an overview of authentication protocols. Then we will look at how a specific application is secured, email. Finally, we'll examine how to secure TCP connections using SSL, Secure Sockets Layer. Note that this is now more properly called Transport Layer Security, or TLS. In weeks 5 to 7, we'll go back to the textbook sequence. We will study the nuts and bolts of networking before finishing the final part of the network security chapter in the final week of the class. Okay, for this week, read the assigned sections of Chapter 8 and view the associated videos. Do the chapter quiz and chapter problem set. They are shorter than usual. Make your journal entry and start working on programming assignment number 3. Complete Lab 6 and its associated quiz. This is the only required lab this week. There is also an extra credit Wireshark lab where you will look under the covers at SSL. You are allowed 2 attempts at taking the quiz for this extra credit lab. Finally, the midterm is this week. The midterm is this coming Saturday, May 21st, starting at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. The midterm is timed. You will have 2 hours and 15 minutes to complete the exam. As I mentioned last week, the midterm covers chapters 1 through 3 and labs 0 to 4. The midterm does not include the material that we cover this week. The Zoom link for the midterm is shown here. You can also find this link in Canvas by opening the Module 4 Introduction. The midterm is open book and open internet, but not open neighbor. Other requirements are no leaving the computer without the proctor's okay, no answering text messages, chats, phone calls, or talking to other people in the room. Please read the message on Canvas before you take the exam. The TA will be the proctor for the exam. We hope that you've learned a lot and that you're enjoying your journey into the world of networking.